Hello and welcome to the Synergy One Lending mobile app training. I'm here today to show you some of the app and dashboard features that's going to help you out as loan officers, and we're going to look at several points of view of the app here as well. So a few things I like to say about the app is one is it's going to act like a digital business card for you, something you can create and share and always update even after you've shared it with people. Secondly, there's going to be some great built-in tools here that we're going to see, such as the dashboard, like the online calculator, the document scanner, and so on. And third and finally, it's going to be a good communication center. So as you and other realtor partners um, are communicating, you will be able to have the loans updated through Encompass, and they'll be able to see the status of the loans and what documents have been uploaded and that kind of thing. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. So we'll notice on the left-hand side, I am logged into the online dashboard, and over on the right-hand side, I have the mobile app up and running. Now, on the mobile app side, I have a couple of options right off the bat. I can sign in, which is what I would do if I have an existing email address and password in the system, or I can get started. Now, get started is the option that all brand new users are going to do, whether you're a loan officer, a realtor partner, or a borrower. So let's go ahead and hit the get started option. Now, it's going to ask right off the bat for the email address. So again, if you're an existing user, like a loan officer or a realtor partner, you're going to go ahead and use the email address that's already in the system. However, I'm going to show this first off from the borrower's point of view. So let's go in as a new borrower. So let's do the Synergy 1, borrower 1, and put in the email here. Now with a unique email address, it'll start asking you more about yourself. If we had put in an existing email, then it would try to verify with a verification code sent via text or email as you choose, and then let you set up your password after you verified. But as a borrower, it's simply going to start asking us for our contact information. So we're going to go ahead and call ourselves a Billy Borrower here. Hit next. It's going to ask for our mobile number, and then we'll hit next. Now, I had to download this a different way. So normally, what a borrower would do is if they use your share link, they'd be able to just associate themselves with you right away. I had to download this the different way, so now it's giving me a list of all the loan officers. So pay attention to this page because we're going to talk about it here in a bit when we're talking about sharing the app. So now that I'm associated with the loan officer, I can go ahead and hit continue. And the phone is asking if the app can send us notifications. We definitely want to allow that no matter what type of user you are. And then finally, we are in the app. So a few things in here. First off, we have the contact button near the top of the page. And when we hit the contact information, it shows that we can call, email, text, whatever we need our loan officer. Now it's getting all the information from the app settings page, both in the personal and in the licensing section. So if you need to update any of your information, you can certainly do that. And it's a simple matter of actually just going over here and clicking on the relative box. And let's say I wanted to change my phone number. I can just change it from like 1234 to 4321, and we'll hit update info. And then the next time the app refreshes, which is usually just a couple of minutes, all that information will be pushed down. Now, the next thing is we have the box up here that is for the borrower to go ahead and start their loan process. So this is if they don't already have a loan started in Encompass. And this is actually going to be one of three places in the app where we're going to direct people to fill out their 1003. We're going to see this on the info page, on the calculator results page, and on the My Loan page. And we'll talk about all those here in a little bit. So the next thing we're going to talk about is sharing the app. So every user, app user, partner, borrower, has the ability to share the app from their mobile device. And when we go ahead and tap on that, it's going to ask us if we want to use our local contacts, because you can share it with someone who exists in your local contacts, or if the borrower says no, they can just create a new contact to share it with. So either way. So let's go ahead and actually look at the share the app page over on the dashboard. And what I want to point out here is that every loan officer is going to be assigned a unique web URL. So in the case of my test loan officer, this is the URL. And it's really the last 5 characters that's going to be unique from loan officer to loan officer and realtor to realtor. So sharing the app with this URL is going to do 2 things. One is it's going to direct people directly to the app store appropriate to their device. So if they're using an Android or an iPhone, it'll take them to their appropriate app store. And 2, it's going to automatically associate them with the loan officer or realtor partner who shared with them the app. So you remember just a couple of minutes ago how I had kind of a list of all the loan officers? Well, that was because when I downloaded the app, did not use the share link. when you share the app with the share link, then the borrower will not get that long list of all the loan officers. They'll just be associated with you automatically by default. So you can kind of see how important it is to go ahead and use that particular web URL. Now, in case of wanting to share the app physical, because you should put this anywhere digital you can, your email signature, your Facebook, social media, anything like that. But you can also take this QR code here and download it in a small, medium, or large format. And that way, you can put it on anything physical, like a business card or a flyer, anything like that. Because when people scan this QR code, it's as if they had clicked on the link above, and that will help them to be able to go ahead and download the app from a scan. So if you're going to have like an open house or anything like that, I would definitely have the QR code out there and visible. So let's go back again to the app settings page. And the next thing we're going to talk about are web links. So this section here, starting with the what are my clients saying and on down, this is reserved for web links. And this becomes the most customizable area for the app for the loan officers. And you can see over here on the dashboard side, I have this web link section and the what are my clients saying, and it's just pointing to Google. Anytime a borrower goes ahead and taps on the web links, it'll go ahead and open the web page directly on the app. So I have the Google page open here, and I didn't open this up in Safari or Chrome. I'm still in the mobile mortgage app. And I can view the site, I can navigate, I can run a search, whatever I need to do, all from the app itself. And then when the borrower is done looking at the web page, they can simply hit the Done button in the upper right-hand corner, and when they do, it'll bring them right back to the app. So you can come in here anytime you want and add a web link. So you'll just click the Add Link to the right, and you can choose between a drop-down list of preset options, or you can do other. And then when you do other, you can type in literally whatever you want, and that is what the app is going to say over on the right-hand side. Now, when you're putting in the web URL, be sure to put in the http://. In fact, the easiest thing to do is simply to go to the page where you want the borrowers to land and copy the complete URL and paste it down in there. So you can add other links. You can add social links for your profile page, and you can add what are called private links. You'll notice, again, I have a private link here. A private link is for the loan officer. So if you have, say, a page where you want to visit because it's helpful information for you, maybe a rate watcher or market analysis or whatever, you can add it to the app. And you'll notice that I don't see it over here because I am not logged in as the loan officer. I'm logged in as a borrower, and therefore I cannot see the private link over here. So let's go ahead and move on then to the calculator here. So if we tap on the calculator link over on the app, we can see I have a few types of calculations I can run: a purchase, a refinance, and affordability. And I can also save calculations and review them later. For here, let's go ahead and hit purchase, and then I have all my different loan types, and I'm going to hit conventional. Now we have the default numbers set in here, and right now they appear to be set by the company, because if I had control of them, I would also see them here on my app settings page. So if you do want to make any adjustments to the default numbers here, then I would definitely talk to your company admin. So what we can do here is we can use the slider bar and start changing the value of any number here that we need. We can also, if we want, tap in the field itself, and that'll bring up a little 10 keypad, and we can type in a number there, and we can type in even to the penny if we want. So we'll go ahead and tap outside the box again to lock that number in. And then we can go ahead and make the other adjustments, down payments, etc. Now, if we do anything that doesn't work for the loan type, like for example, if our down payment gets too low, then it'll alert us that there's something that needs to be updated. Another thing we can do is we can change our term length, we can change our interest rates, taxes, etc. We can even come down to the bottom, and anywhere where the loan officer is licensed, we can go ahead and choose the state, and we can choose the corresponding county. So we got that there. So let's go ahead and hit calculate down here at the bottom. And when we hit calculate, a few things here is one, we'll be able to see that we got this get pre-qualified by and then the loan officer's name. And that's where a borrower can start going ahead and again, fill out their 1003 if they haven't already. But up here, just above that button and up here at the very top of the screen, it's going to take our estimated monthly payment and break it down into its bare essentials: principal, taxes, home insurance, etc. And what we can do is we can also hit the view amortization table, and we'll be able to see the full amortization table from first payment to last. After that, we can hit the amortization chart button up there in the upper right-hand corner, and we'll be able to see the entire graph there of the amortization. So the next thing is in the upper right-hand corner, we'll have this little save button there in the upper right-hand corner, and the save button is going to allow us to save the scenario so we can come right back to this page without having to re-put in all the data. So when we hit that save button, it's going to ask us to give this a name. Now, if it's the loan officer, you'll probably save this by the client's name because you're going to want to show a client later. If you are the client and saving this, you'd probably call it like dream home or property address or something like that. Either way, when we come back into the save section, we can see that that save scenario right there ready to be reviewed. And you can see there's plenty of room for other scenarios here, but if I tap on the name, it takes me right back to the results page. Finally, on the calculator results page, we have this email PDF. So if you want to share this scenario with someone off of your phone, we can go ahead and hit the email PDF, and it'll take all this data and it'll generate for us a nice 2-page PDF that you can go ahead and share. And it'll have, again, your contact information in the upper right-hand corner. It'll have the amortization chart, the bottom line numbers, and then at least 15 lines of the amortization table. So we have all that. And you can just hit the share button down there in the bottom right and email it or whatever you need to do. Now let's move on to the calculator. I'm not going to talk a lot about the calculator just yet, except to say that a borrower, even before they start their loan, is able to hit take a picture, and they can either type in the name of a document or they can choose between a list of the documents down below. And if you start typing in the name of the document, by the way, it'll narrow the search below as well. So yeah, borrower can send documents even before the loan started, but I'm going to show you sending documents once the loan is started. So next, let's go ahead and go to the Learn tab. The Learn tab, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. It's just self-help information for the borrower. But there's some good articles and news feeds that they can look at to familiarize themselves with the home buying process. They can also come into the glossary of terms, which I really like, and they can go ahead and look at, like, if they don't know what a cap is or earnest money or an FHA loan, they can come in here and familiarize themselves with those terms. Finally, we'll go into the My Loan tab. Now, the My Loan tab, once again, if the loan is not started, this is where a borrower can start filling in their 1003 loan application. You also have, by the way, if we go over to our Share App page, you're also going to be given this link right here. Now, this link over here is a link that you can also give if you want borrowers to be able to set up their profiles online and fill out their web 1003s. So just be aware you'll have these individual links that's going to end with your email address, and just go ahead and share that out again digitally if you want people to fill out their 1003 on the web-based rather than the app-based. I'm going to go ahead and show off the app-based one though here. So let's go ahead and hit Start Your Loan Process. And when it pops up here, there's really going to be 3 types of answers to any question. One is going to be like a multiple choice, like in this case, what's the purpose of the loan? I can choose between these options. Next is going to be like a fill in the blank, like for the middle name, I can go ahead and just type in like Billy James borrower. And then third, we're going to see is like a yes or no or agree and disagree. So like where it asks here, do you own your own home? I can just tap to, toggle between yes, no, agree, and disagree. Now, if we try to skip over any questions that are required, and I'm trying to find one here, then it will go ahead and let us know that it is a required question. I haven't seen any yet, but we can definitely set those up if the company so needs. But we can come in here and just start filling out the information, and we'll put in things like the social, and what else am I going to ask here? So as we come through here, a couple of things to note. One is that down at the bottom, we have this little gray bar starting to fill out with a darker color. And so that shows us how far along we are on the loan process. Of course, when it gets all the way to the end, we'll know that we're ready to wrap up. So another thing is if we want to pause for any reason, maybe we don't know the answer to the question, maybe our kids are banging down the door wanting dinner, we can hit the exit button in the upper right-hand corner. And when we do that, it'll save all the information natively here in the app, and then the verbiage here changes from start your loan process to continue. So when we come back in here into continue, it will take us back to the first question. However, it does remember all the information that we have put into that point. And of course, if we want to start filling in information that we skipped previously or editing information that may have been had typos in it before, we can go ahead and start doing that. So let me go ahead and skip ahead here to the end of the loan app so you can see what submission looks like. So here on the last page of the 1003, the last question is going to ask us is the privacy agreement. So we can come down here and we can just toggle, yes, I've read and accepted the privacy agreement. It does ask other questions too about like work history and assets and whether or not we agree to the credit authorization and the e-consent. And so when we come in here, we can go ahead and hit preview is the last button we're going to see. And it's going to go ahead and generate a full one-page preview of the answers to all the questions. And again, I just kind of pass through everything, let everything blank. We can see here that the social doesn't show anything in the last 4 characters, although when you import that into Encompass, it will. So we can go ahead and see all the information in here. And if there's anything that looks amiss, we can hit the back button and go and fix it. But if we're ready, we can just go ahead and hit the done button and submit that right away to the loan officer. And when we do, it'll pop up a little message saying, thank you, I'll be in touch soon. So we can go ahead and see that the loan officer is working on that. And then when they start the loan, they'll be able to start seeing their loan details. So let's talk about the notifications a loan officer might receive. If we come over here to the account page, we'll be able to see here the installation settings. And a loan officer can start coming in here and customizing how they want to be notified and about what. And you can see there's all sorts of things here like emails and texts and push notifications. Push notifications, by the way, are the notifications that show up over on the messaging section of the app. But they can be notified about things like when people install the app, open the app, creating an account, submit a loan application, submit documents, all sorts of things here. Also, you'll notice down here a little further on the page, you have this My Loan section. The My Loan section is if you have people working with you, maybe a processor or an LOA on the Encompass side of things, and you just need them to be notified as well. So you can come in here and you can add email addresses by putting like a comma space and then the next address, and then, comma space, the next address, as many as you need. And just be sure to hit the save button down below. And then they can be notified about, again, when like documents are uploaded or loan applications submitted. And there's one here that is more of a permission, which is this one right here. Email address is allowed to import loan applications into LOS. So if you have like an LOA going to import into Encompass for you, just be sure to put their Encompass email here, and then they will have permissions to import loan applications on your behalf. So let's go ahead and talk about importing loan applications here. Forgive me, I don't have direct access to Encompass, but we have a little video here that we can show, and I'm just going to show part of it. So when we have a new loan officer, we set them up to link to their Encompass account. So when we go into the pipeline, we're going to see this new button in the upper right-hand corner called the mobile mailbox. And there will be a number there showing if there are new loan applications that have been submitted. So all the loan officer has to do here is go ahead and click on the mobile mailbox, and that'll pull up this pop-up window, and they can see some basic information about everyone who submitted a loan app. They can click on the person they're ready to import and hit select. And then the screen over here that they'll see is to the left. They'll be able to review the loan data and make sure everything looks good. Now, over on the right-hand side, they'll also be able to select a template, because when the borrower submits a 1003 and you import it, it simultaneously creates a loan. If there's any problems with the loan app, you can hit the reject button and send them a message. But if everything looks good, you can hit import, and it'll ask you if you're sure. So we'll go ahead and come up here and say, yes, we're sure. And then when we do that, it'll create the loan right away. And when it's done importing it, it'll go ahead and say loan created, and it'll show you your loan number, and it'll even give you the option to open it now. So this loan is now going to be in your pipeline, and you're going to be able to go ahead and open the loan details, and you're going to see everything that the borrower submitted here, and you're going to be able to come in and work the loan and progress it just like you always have. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to start a loan here for my Billy borrower, and then we're going to look at to see what it looks like from that perspective. So we'll notice already that because we submitted a loan application, the promptings to submit a loan application have gone away. But let me go ahead and refresh this here, and then we'll go back into the My Loan section, and now we're seeing some information about our loan itself. So we can see the loan progress, so we can see what milestone we're on. So if I go ahead and tap on that, then I can see the milestones that have been completed, the one I'm on, and the ones that are yet to come, with a nice description of what it means to be on each individual milestone. Going back, the next button we can hit is this button here that says loan details. So if I go ahead and tap in there, I can see like my loan number, the loan amount, type and purpose, etc. Going back here, next thing is I can review the list of documents that have been requested by my loan officer. And when I'm ready, I can start scanning the documents by hitting the little plus sign to the right of any given document. So let's go ahead and do that here. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on the plus sign next to 30 days of pay stubs, and it's going to ask me what filter I want to use. If it's a text-only document, we're going to recommend the black and white filter, which is going to give it a nice scan look, not like a picture of a or a picture of a document taken by somebody's cell phone. So we'll hit OK here, and then the first time scanning, the app is going to need permission to use the camera. And then the first time scanning as well, the app is going to give the borrower some tips along the way of how to scan and how to crop and edit. So here, we're going to go ahead and line up this document here. And it does help our auto cropper if you do have a contrasting background to the document. So right here, we're going to go ahead and hold this above the page and hit the shutter button. And it's going to take the picture, give us some tips about cropping. And then the auto cropper will do its thing. And we see right there, it did a really good job. Although we can take any corner and line it up if we need to do any adjustments there. But we'll hit the crop button down there. And then this will take us on to the edit page. And we see there's an edit button up there, and we can see, yeah, we're going to need to do a little work here. But we're going to have this edit button in the upper right-hand corner, which is going to allow us to do things like recrop, retake, rotate, or even adjust the color or the filter. But what we really just need to focus on here is the contrast. Now we have a little contrast slider bar, so if we were to scan to the left, it would make it darker and darker, and if we scan to the right, it makes it lighter and lighter. So the idea here obviously being that we need to go ahead and adjust that. Now, where I'm at, kind of poor lighting, let me adjust my lighting here, because you see I can't get everything light enough before things start getting too light. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and retake the document here. This time I'm going to turn off the lamp at my desk, and we'll see if this works better. I bet it will. So we're going to go ahead and snap that picture and get to the crop. And once again, it did a pretty good job cropping. And we're going to say crop. Yeah, so the lamp did make a difference here. So now I can turn it down here, and there we go. That appears much better. So again, you can recrop it, re-edit, whatever you need to do. So let's say done, and now we got page 1 of the document. Now, if this is a multi-page document, we can come down to the bottom and hit add page. So let's do that. Let's pretend this is at least a 2-page document. So we're going to hit add page, and you'll notice at the top and bottom, we have page 2 right there. So we're going to go ahead and snap the picture. I'm going to do this a little more quickly so you can see how quick this process really can be. And then we got the auto crop, so we'll hit crop. And then we'll get to the edit page. And we'll just bring up the contrast a little bit so we can read everything. And then we'll hit done. So page 2 there took what, 10, 15 seconds? So you can see how quickly you can start scanning documents. And I can come back and edit either page individually. So if I needed to retake page 1 or recrop page 2, I can do that. And I can just hit add page as many pages as I need. And then when I'm done, I'll hit the send button. It'll take me in here and I can review the name of the document and send securely or cancel. Now, when I send securely, it is a secure upload. We are SOC 2 compliant, and you'll be able to retrieve that into Encompass. We'll look at that here in a minute. But when we come in here and we hit send securely, depending on how many pages and how good one's internet or data connection is, it should upload pretty quickly. So we'll hit OK here. And then it shows us that document has been checked off. And the borrower can go into their drafts and send under their scanner, and they can see the status of the document, and they can even see 2 little thumbnails of the 2 pages we sent. But what's important is that no one, not even the loan officer or the borrower themselves, after the document has been submitted, can see the full page document on a phone. Never. Once the document has been submitted, it's only viewable in the Encompass environment. So let's go ahead and look at that as well. We're going to go ahead and open another little video here that I've prepared. And let's look at documents. So first off, when you come into the loan tab, you're going to have a little section over there on the left called the forms. And under forms, it's either going to say beneath it Simple Nexus or some variation of your company or the app name. Now, when we come in here, a few things that we want to note is that over on the left-hand side under the documents, Retrieve Documents button, we can see that we have a new pending document. So what we can do is we can go ahead and click on the document retrieval button just above that, and it will go ahead and help us to retrieve that document. So over here on the left-hand side, we can see the name of the document. In this example is the W-2. So we can go ahead and click on that document, and then over to the right, it'll pull up in a little image previewer. Now these documents are all going to be PDF files. So what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to see the document and zoom in and scroll around and make sure everything looks the way we need it to look. Now, if for any reason the document does not look the way we need it to look, we can hit the reject button down below, and that'll pull up a little window, and we can reject the document with a message. The message might be like it's too fuzzy. And the borrower will get a message on their app with whatever we put in there, and then when they go back into their phone, they'll be able to see like a little exclamation mark instead of a checkbox, showing that that document does need to be rescanned. However, if everything does look good, we can hit Add to Encompass, and then depending on the way your company has it set up, it'll either go to your unassigned e-folder or it'll go to a different e-folder of your choice. No matter where you import it to, do note that once it's imported into Encompass, we purge it from our system, and so we don't want the document to exist in multiple places. Again, that's a security concern. Now, going back to the main Forms tab, you can do other things, as you can see the milestone progress. You can remove documents from the default list. You can request new documents to the list and really be able to work the loan that way. So let's go back here to the account tab, and let's talk about partners and co-branding. So when we come over to our partners page, and we can see I already have a partner here named Corbin, and I can expand the information and edit the partner already there. So partners are going to be very valuable to you. The more people you get sharing your app, the better it's going to be for you. And of course, the advantage for them is that they're going to have like a nice digital business card with their branding on it. They're going to be able to, again, have these tools available, and they're going to be kept in the loop on the loan process as well. But it's better to work with partners kind of more personally, so don't just kind of create like 200 partners because you gathered their business cards, because most of them are not going to be productive partners for you. It'd be better to have like, say, 5 solid realtor partners who are excited about the app, because if 5 people share the app with 10 leads apiece, that's going to be 50 new leads for you. That's golden. So it's much better to work personally, which is why we use the word partner. Now you can create a new partner up here by clicking on this Add New button at the top, and it's really just a 4-step process. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in some contact information for the realtor, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select what notifications we want them to receive. So they might be able to receive notifications about when people install the app, open the app, when a borrower reaches a milestone, or when documents have been uploaded. And you can just come in here and click these on and off, yes or no as you please. And then we'll come into step 2, which is customizing it. So customizing it is we're going to add their picture and their logo into the app. And you can get most of the pictures and logos from the different websites of realtors, but we really want to customize it to have it be something that they want to share. So we'll come in here into step 3, and you can add web links for them as well as yourself. In this case, I'm just going to do like a My Listing, and I'm going to call this a Zillow page. And so you might do Zillow or whatever they have, and again, just copy their URLs and paste them right in here. And you can see a little preview over here to the right. And then finally, the 4th and final step is just sharing the app with them. So we're going to get this default message here. It's going to tell the realtor, here's the co-branded shareable app I customized for you. It's going to give them their unique share link, which is going to be, these last 5 characters different from yours. It's going to remember their phone number from step 1. So all you really have to do here is hit send, and it's going to send them that text message. So now they're here added to the app, and when they get the app, the text message, download it through the web link you sent them, they will be able to go ahead and tap on Get Started. And the most important part here of their setup is going to be making sure that they use the same email address that you use when you set them up. Because when they use the same email address, it'll verify them and let them set up their passwords, and they're done. But if they use a different email address, it might take them in as a borrower rather than a partner. So just be careful on that note. So once we have partners in here, let's go ahead and look at our app users over here on the left. And with our app users, we have everyone who's downloaded the app. So again, an app user is someone who's downloaded the app, put in a unique email address, name, and phone number. Now, they're also going to be assigned, you'll notice, to different realtor partners. Now, by default, whoever shared with them the app, a realtor or a loan officer, that's who they're going to be assigned to. So we can see things like Billy Borrower is assigned to Stanley Demo, the loan officer, but like maybe Laverne down here is assigned to Corbin. So you can see these assignments right here. Now, despite whoever shared the app with them, you can go ahead and make alterations. So like if a Billy Borrower downloaded my app before I had a realtor partner, then maybe I want to then hook them up with a realtor partner. So let's say Jane Smith over here. And then what I can do is I can come over to the app, and the next time the app refreshes, and I'm going to manually refresh it, then we're going to see that co-branding pop up. And I can see Jane's picture, logo, contact information. I can see that My Listings page, which pointed to Zillow. So I can go ahead and view everything co-branded. But what's neat is for the borrower, really the only difference is the co-branding sections. Everything down here, the info, calculator, scan, learn, those behave exactly the way they did before. So we're just adding the co-branding. So let's go ahead and change points of view here. I'm going to go and log in as the loan officer. So let me come over here to the menu, down to settings, and we're going to say log out, and then we're going to go sign in, and then we're going to put in Synergy 1 loan officer at sn.com, and then we're going to put in our password and hit sign in. And then we're going to come in as the loan officer. So a couple of things to point out here. First off, if I go to my menu and I have 2 new notifications. So I go to my messages and I can see that a loan application was submitted by Billy. So I can tap to acknowledge that. Then I can see that the documents have been uploaded for Billy, so I can tap on that. So you get notified along the way about these different things. The next thing I'm going to point out is that I have my private link now, that rate watcher set up that I set up before from the private link section. So now that I'm a loan officer, I can see that one live. Next thing we're going to look at here is down at the bottom, I now have 2 new options. I have contacts and I have loans. Now, the difference between your point of view and the realtor point of view is they are also going to see contacts and loans, but when they're logged in, they're going to see their contact information and logo. They're going to see the app co-branded. The other difference is down here on the contacts and loans, you are going to see everyone, all your partners and all your borrowers. The realtor partner, however, is just going to see you and the borrowers who are assigned to them. One realtor partner cannot view another realtor partner, and a realtor partner cannot view any borrower who is not assigned to them over on the app users page. So that said, let's go ahead and take a look at this here. So we can go ahead and go down to our contacts, and we can see all of our app users and borrowers. So if I tap on an app user like our Billy Borrower, I can view the loan details. I can see if they're assigned to a realtor partner and who. I have all of their contact information, and I can export their contact information directly into my phone. The next thing I can do is over here, I can go ahead and tap on a realtor partner, let's say Corbin, and I can again view all the contact information. I can share the app co-branded. That's one thing a loan officer can do is you can choose how you share the app, and I can export the realtor's contact information directly into my phone. Now, a fairly new feature that we have that we're really excited about is this button up here in the upper right-hand corner of the contacts page. See, it's like a little silhouette with a plus sign over there. And what we can do here is a loan officer can tap that button and create a brand new realtor partner. So if you're meeting like face-to-face with a realtor, maybe at a lunch meeting, maybe at a convention, you can just break out your phone here and you can add them as a partner directly here from your phone. And when you put in their contact information, it's really all the same 4 steps, frankly. So we can put in their contact information, step 1. Step 2 is adding their picture and logo. Step 3 is adding any web links we want to add. And step 4 is just sharing it with them. But what's really neat is if you do it from the phone, on step 2, where we're adding their picture and logo, you'll also have the option to use your camera. So if you want to take the realtor's picture, like right there on the spot, and you can even have them hand you a business card and you can take a picture of their logo, you can add it right there. Now, of course, you can always come back and edit it in the dashboard afterward, or when they set up their password, they'll also have dashboard access, and they'll be able to access the dashboard as well. So finally, let's go ahead and look at the loans tab. We're rounding rounding the end here. So on the Loans tab, and we'll go to the Loans tab on the dashboard as well, we should see all the loans in your Encompass pipeline, but they're going to be under two categories. We're going to see loans without app users. So these are loans you have active in your pipeline, but they've not yet downloaded the mobile mortgage app. And we're going to see loans with app users. So again, these are Encompass loans where the borrower has also downloaded the app and should be able to see their own details. And on the app side, they're just called loans. But from here, what we can do is we can do things like, even though the borrower has not downloaded the app, if we take a look at Pierce over here, and we'll tap Pierce over on the app side as well, we can still view like the loan amount and the details and the contact info. And what we can do is we can invite the borrower to become an app user by either clicking on the button over here, the button on the app, or in Encompass, it'll also have a button to invite them to download the app as well. So really awesome. But let's go ahead and look at an existing app user. Again, let's look at our Billy, since we've been looking at Billy the whole time here. And with Billy, we can again view the loan details, the abbreviations down here. These are the milestones, so application, etc. And we can tap on that and view more of the details, and even view more of the details on the appraisal side. And if you tap on the little button in the upper right-hand corner, you can see who might be working on the different milestones as well from Encompass. So coming back over here, the next thing we want to look at is the document request. So if I hit document requests over here, then I can see that these documents have been requested. So I can see that the W-2 and the bank statement still need done, but I can see that the 30 days of pay stubs is now already complete. So that's just a handy little feature for me there. So I can go ahead and you'll notice I have these plus signs over to the right, so that gives me the ability to go ahead and scan documents on behalf of my borrower as well. So again, a really handy feature. Okay, so forgive me, I had to borrow a live loan officer's profile because I needed to be able to go ahead and show Optimal Blue with someone live. So with Optimal Blue, once we have you enabled, then you should be able to see it from your info page. So if we come over here and hit Pricing by Optimal Blue, then we'll be able to go ahead and start running the loan scenario. Of course, if we do it from in here, everything will be blank and we'll have to run everything by default, which is totally fine. That might be the way you need to do it. However, what we can also do is we can come over here into the Loans tab, and we can choose someone. I'm going to kind of choose someone randomly here. So yeah, here we go. So I'm going to choose Sherry, and I'm going to hit Pricing by Optimal Blue. And then everything that is already in the loan file should also translate here into the app. So we can see things like the sales price and the appraisal value and the loan amount. So all of that information should come in from Encompass. We can also, put in like the FICO score and just everything that you normally do on a typical Optimal Blue pricing. We can also come and add some info. So it wants the debt to income. Let's call that 30, and let's call the month's reserves 5. The next thing we'll do here is we see county, state, zip, all good. And then we'll put in the desired lock rate, say 30. And when it comes to this last page, when it asks about like loan types, we can actually choose multiple fields at the same time. So loan terms, we can say 30 and 15 and things like that. So everything here looks pretty good. So let me go ahead and hit done. And what it'll do here is it'll reach out to Optimal Blue, and it'll go ahead and get all of the pricing results here. Now, it'll show all of the companies here across the page, and it'll show like the best loan scenario here underneath. But what we can do is we can tap on the company name, and it'll expand, and we'll see the other information here as well, and then we can collapse it again. But yeah, just for each company down here, if we tap on the company, it'll show us more information. But if we don't, it's just still like the best one that's most par for the course here. And you'll also notice that kind of down the page, we have 3 distinct columns here. And I can tap on the column header and change like the rate to cost percentage or the price to lock period and things like that. So I can make all those changes. Finally, I can go to the very bottom of the page, and if I do that, I can hit Show Ineligible Products. And when I do that, it'll show us everything we did not qualify for, and that's a way that you can go ahead and see what products we didn't qualify for, and then if need be, maybe make any adjustment, like if we need a stronger down payment or whatever the case may be, in order to make that qualification. So that is everything I wanted to show off today. If you do have any questions or need any help, you can always go to the help and support page, and you're going to have a phone number here and an email address that you can reach out to if you have any questions along the way. There's also some additional video tutorials down here if you need any additional help. Some things I've covered, other things I've not. But we wish you luck in your journey. Let us know how we can help you to be successful. That is always our goal. So have a great rest of your day.